Hello, and thank you for joining Paper Crafting with Tracy. Today we're going to use this split stamping technique where I'm going to make two cards that are very similar and they're very quick to make. So the first thing I'm going to start with is I'm going to get my Stamparatus here because I want this to be in the same spot. So I'll get a piece of white cardstock, which is my 5 by 3 1/4. And I'm using a happy birthday stamp from the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set because I wanted one that was fairly large. So I'm going to line this up where I want it to be. Kind of make sure it's kind of centered. Oops. Get your card right in there. And the reason why you want to use a Stamparatus for this is because you want it to be in the exact same spot on the two pieces of cardstock. Okay, so now that I've done that, and I'm going to be using Gorgeous Grape as well, but now that I've got that on there, I'm just going to get my Gorgeous Grape and we will ink that up. And the nice thing with the Stamparatus is if there's an area where you didn't ink up enough, you can just go back over it. So make sure it's all on there. And I'm pleased with that. And then I am going to take just a flower stamp and I will put a couple flowers on here. And it doesn't matter with the Stamparatus with this one because they're not going to be in the center, so I don't have to worry about that. So we'll just, oops. Now having said that, let's see if I can fix that. Got the corner of it. Not really. So I'm going to get another piece of white cardstock and we'll fix that. So what I will do is just cut a piece quickly here. And I didn't have another piece. Couldn't use the back side because I had already made a mistake on there. So this was already switching my back side. So again, that's a piece of 5 by 3 1/4. There we go. So we just quickly do that again. So we'll ink up the stamp. And then we'll lay that down. So nice and easy because it's exactly where I wanted it to be already. There we go. Now I'm not going to worry about doing the flowers quite yet. I will do that after I clean off my stamp. So I'll just use my sponge here. And now we're going to do the same thing, except I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to use some white craft ink. Just be careful as to how much craft ink you put on there because it can get kind of messy. Nice and even. Okay. And I'll worry about cleaning that in a little bit. So now I'm just going to take my flower stamp and we'll just put a couple flowers on there. Much easier to do once I get the Stamparatus out of the way. Put a couple more. There we go. And I will clean that off, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the craft ink on the Gorgeous Grape. Okay, now the thing with craft ink is you want to make sure that it's well and truly dry. It takes longer, so I've actually got my heat gun all ready to go. So we'll just put some of these on, and they don't have to be the same as the other because it's not going to be as affected. It's just the center one that they have to be exactly the same. Anything that crosses the center line. Okay, so we'll put our craft ink away as well. And now I'll just get my heat gun and dry this. And it doesn't take much to dry it. It's just a couple spots there that are a little bit wet. Okay, I could have put it aside and just let it dry that way. Okay, I think these are fairly close. They might still be a tiny bit. So now what I'm going to do is just take my cutting tool and I'm going to cut this straight in half. So these are 5 inches, so half would be 2.5. And we're just going to cut it right in half. And then the same with this one. At the 2.5. And cut it right in half. There we go. Now it's just assembly. So I'm going to use my matting as Highland Heather. And what you're going to do is you're just matching these up. Like so. On your matting. So we'll just tape these down. Just pay attention as to which one you're using. So the matting should be even all the way around. Now we'll join those together. And that's what you end up with. So now we'll do the opposite on this side. So you can play around with this, see what, you could use any color besides the white. I could have done black on there. Okay, anything that just stands out on the color. There we go, and now I'll just get my card bases here and attach them. Oh, obviously I must have had a little bit of white somewhere, so we'll just bring that over a bit. Because that's not going to show. There we go, and we'll do the same with the other. And now we'll just add some embellishments. So I'm going to use these pastel pearls because they're the perfect colors for this. So I've got some that I had been using previously, so we'll just add a couple of these on here. Now put on some, oops. And that's all there is to. this split card. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial with paper crafting with Tracey. Please subscribe to the channel, and I hope you join us on another tutorial. Thanks for coming. Happy stamping.